Good morning. This is courtroom 1, session 1. I'm Judge Amy Carter. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning, Brian Wynn with the Office of Public Defender.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Brandon Bass.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Ronnie Huggins, East Decatur.
All right. We'll reset Mr. Huggins. And you're Mr. Bass?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you were here in case number 19 CF 7345. You were arrested for sale and delivery of heroin, sale and delivery of cocaine, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $15,000, your bond on count 2 is $150, and your bond on count 3 is $150. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name? Mr. Stallnaker, you are here in case number 19 CF 7342. You were arrested for retail theft greater than $300. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, and you're not to return to the Lowe's at 8700 West Colonial Drive, sir. All right, thank you.
Mr. Burton refused, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Burton. Good morning, your name?
Whisper Cruz.
Sir, you're here in case number 19 CF 7411. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause and will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. At this time, your bond in that case will be $500. And in case number 19 MM 4351, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. I do find probable cause for that offense, and your bond will be $100. Sir, were you going to hire an attorney, or do you want to see if you qualify for the office of the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
The public defender?
Pardon.
Okay. Are you working?
No.
Okay. Do you have any source of income?
No.
Okay. Based upon your testimony, I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Thank you.
Cornelius Kipyong is mental health.
Okay. Mr. Kipyong, we will reset. Good morning, your name?
DeAndre Lee.
Mr. Lee, you are here in case number 19 CF 7410. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is $150. You're not to have any contact with Spencer Jimenez, and you are not to return to 7732 Silver Star Road.
So, I wanna know
Nope.
So where am I gonna go? That's why I stay across the street from my store.
Well, you can go to your house, you just can't go to the store.
Well, I just can't go to the liquor store.
Right.
I can have somebody go to the store for me.
Sure.
That's crazy.
Thank you, sir.
Can we pass by Mr. Delphin?
Sure.
Sean Green, his medical.
All right, we'll reset Mr. Green.
Santiago Ramirez is Spanish.
Okay.
And Mr. Worley is behavior.
All right, at this time, I'm gonna find a waiver of Mr. Wardley's appearance. He was also behavior yesterday. This is the second time that his case was reset. It's case number 19MM4324. He was arrested for providing false ID to law enforcement. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender and his bond is $500. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Gabriela Yervolina.
And we're hearing case number 19 CF 7403. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Frederick Wazeski?
Okay. Ma'am, you were arrested for possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. You're here with counsel this morning. What can I do, counsel?
Judge, I saw that there was a pre-bond amount set. I would ask if that would be, I believe it was 1,000 on count one and 100 on count two, if I believe correctly. If the court would also like to give her instructions about not, having controlled substances that she has no prescription for, we'd ask that she be able to post bond for those amounts.
Okay. My concern with this is that she's already out on bond
Yes.
in 19 CF 1393 for similar offenses.
Yes, Judge, I'm the attorney for that case.
Okay.
I spoke with the state about that, Judge. It was in the property of the high school where she was attending. There were several individuals involved in a vehicle. I believe she might have been the only adult. Just a mere reading of the information shows that, or the charging document. I've had numerous conversations with the intake attorney, and there's a lot of confusion about the case. They haven't filed on it yet, Judge, and
Okay.
I don't know that they will. I do understand that obviously it's similar in nature, but if the court would, I believe the state had recommended to revoke and set a new bond on that case as well. I just feel because she's here really without, her family's out of country and she's staying with relatives, that, her means are a little limited.
Okay. Ms. Bush?
And, Your Honor, the state would also recommend that, in addition to any bonds, that she receive random urinalysis through pretrial release services.
Okay. So at this time, I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond case. I'll leave the bond intact as it is. I'll stay the bond at 1,000 on count one and 100 on count two.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ma'am, I'm gonna also order, though, that you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances or any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm also gonna order that you're to be drug tested through pretrial services while out on bond. Okay?
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bailey bonding, Your Honor.
Okay. Stay bonded.
Ms. Bess is downtown court.
Okay, we will reset Ms. Bess.
Jonathan Bone is TDY Marshals.
Okay, so what does that mean with respect to our case?
I don't know if they're gonna bring it back,
Okay,
but right now, it's temporary, he's temporarily released them.
okay. And they don't have a time frame in which they return him? Okay. This is 19 CF 7413, Jonathan Bond. He was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell, possession of fentanyl, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is this Miss, wait, who's not here?
Yeah, Bond isn't here.
Bond
It's-
is T.D. Watson.
Cool.
This is Katie?
Right, no,
Kathy?
I'm doing Mr. Bond's case.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah, that's
Your
okay. I just thought maybe I had the wrong, like, paperwork for me. Okay, no, I am going to IA Mr. Bond's case. He did fill out the public defender form, so I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. I do not find that there's probable cause as to count 1. There is probable cause as to counts 2 and counts 3. Bond on count 1 will be bond on count 2 will be 1,500. Bond on count 3 will be 100. He'll be ROR'd on count 1. Good morning. Your name?
Brian Katie.
Mr. Katie, you are here in case number 19 CF 7392. You were arrested for battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. We're gonna set your bond at $1,000. I'm also gonna order that you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs while out on bond. You're not to have any contact with Gloria Theophilus. And you are not to return to her property. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Stephanie Cintron.
Ms. Cintron, you're here in case number 19 CF 6952. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of robbery with a firearm. At this time, ma'am, I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with Anthony Mitchum. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're not to return to the Days Inn. You're not to have any contact with any potential co-defendants, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask that Ms. Cintron be held at no bond, and the state would ask the court to take into consideration the sworn affidavit to issue the arrest warrant. And in that affidavit, there are identifiable witnesses. Those identifiable witnesses also identified Ms. Cintron as one of 2 people that participated in this act. And based on that, the state would ask the court to find that proof is evident or presumption is great that she is the person so identified and hold her at no bond in this matter. The state would also ask the court to take into consideration that she is out on bond in 2019 MM 1402 AO. At the time of this, as a matter of fact, there are facts contained in today's case that refer to that matter. And also that she has had a prior failure to appear as recently as March of this year.
Mr. Nguyen?
We'll defer to the court, Your Honor.
Okay. At this time, the state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the information contained in the sworn probable cause affidavit to issue the arrest warrant, including the video evidence. So bond at this time will remain at none. In 19 CF MM 1402, I'm revoking the bond in that case, and that will be set at none as well. Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Angelina Kramer.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 18 CF 6332. This is a violation of probation. Oh, she's not going to. Once a week, or see like any new law. Ma'am, this is a violation of probation. I'm gonna appoint the public defender for all of the cases. It states that you violated your probation by failing to report as required to probation on Friday, February 22nd at 9:30 a.m. It also alleges that you failed to obtain your probation office permission before you moved. You also have case number 18 CF 9476. It's a violation of probation. It also alleges in that case that you did not report to your probation officer as directed for the months of March and April. You also moved without obtaining permission. Those are the allegations, ma'am, at this time, and your bond is set at none. Okay, you'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, we had a motion for Ms. Kramer as well.
Pardon me?
I think we had a motion for Ms. Kramer as well.
Is it on the add-on?
Yes.
Your Honor, we're going to withdraw the motion at this time.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Can you just put in the minutes on this case? This was 19 MM 4048. The public defender withdrew the motion, so I'll just have court minutes reflecting that. Do you need this order? Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Joseph Harrison.
Mr. Harrison, you were here in case number 19 CF 7402. You were arrested for resisting officer with violence and petty theft. And then in case number 19 CF 7401, you were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in both cases. Your bond in count 1 in 19 CF 7402 is $1,000. Actually, I misspoke. Ms. Bush, you're gonna have to provide the supplemental report for count 1 resisting officer with violence. It states in the affidavit that Plea Detective Chioda's supplemental reference to the resisting with violence, and there's no facts to support that count at this time.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would formally request 24 hours to provide the court with.
Okay. I'll grant that request. I'll leave the bond at $1,000 on that count. It'll be $250 on this count 2. And then 19 CF 7410 will be $150. Sir, you can't return to Home Depot. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
What was the bond on count 2?
$250.
And in 7401, the court said 100.
150.
What's the
All right,
bond
thank you.
current? Is there a bond set on the first charge currently?
It stayed at the 1,000.
1,000. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Laura Hathaway.
Ms. Hathaway, this is case number 18 CF 17385. You failed to appear for a plea hearing on May 3rd of 2019. At this time, your bond is currently set at none, and I will appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Are you Miss Jones?
Yes, I am.
Ms. Jones, you're here in case number 17 CF 11414. You failed to appear for case management conference on April 25th of this year. Your bond in that matter is currently set at none, ma'am. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they weren't previously appointed.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Christopher Keller.
Mr. Keller, this is 18 CF 8627. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for failing to report a name change or residence, or to update your driver's license, sir. At this time, your bond is gonna be $1,500. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. You do have reporting requirements.
And, Your Honor, may the state just point out to the court that this is a second conviction for the same allegation?
What do you mean? Second conviction?
Yes, for failure to comply or report. This is
So
a second.
This would be a second allegation.
This would be the second allegation. He has a prior conviction for the same crime.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name, sir?
Good morning, Radel Carnegie.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 7394. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of ketamine, neglect of a child, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I find probable cause for all of the offenses, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all your cases if they weren't already appointed.
Yes,
Count
ma'am.
1, your bond is going to be $1,000. Count 2, your bond is going to be $1,000. Count 3, your bond's going to be $3,000. Count 4, your bond will be $100, and count 5, your bond will be $100. I'm gonna order that you're not to possess or consume any illegal drugs. You're to comply with any DCF investigations. Also 19 CF 4261, I'm revoking your bond in that matter at this time. That will be set at none. You have 18 CT 9536, you failed to appear for pretrial conference, and your bond in that matter is set at $500. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name, sir?
Denny Lewis.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're here in case number 19 CF 7378. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of tetrahydrocannabis, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Count 2, $150. Count 3, $100. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, may we have a no contact with co-defendant?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lewis, in addition, you're not to have any contact with your co-defendant, Shannara White. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
My name is Edine Mann.
Mr. Mann, this is case number 19 CF 7072. You were arrested for lewd and lascivious exhibition pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with the alleged victim in this matter. You're not to enter any school properties. You're not to have any unsupervised contact with any children under the age of 18. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. And your bond will be $15,000, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Daniel Medina.
Mr. Medina, this is 19 CF 6364. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of grand theft, third degree. Sir, you can't have any contact with Samir Halim.
Excuse me?
You cannot have any contact with the victim in this case.
Okay.
And at this time, sir, I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, and I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You need to stay in contact with your attorney's office, make sure the clerk of the court has your correct address. That way you get notice of your court date. Otherwise, they'll issue a warrant for your arrest, sir. Okay? Thank you. Good morning. Your name, sir?
Omar Mosqueda.
Sir, you were arrested in 19 CF 7025 for failing to report within 30 days pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond is $2,500, and you are to comply with all reporting requirements within 1 day of your release, sir. Okay? Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Norris?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Norris, this is 19 CF 5188. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for the offense of worthless check of $100 or $50 or more. Your bond is a $1,600 cash bond.
Your Honor, you said 600?
1,600 cash bond. Mr. Norris, your affidavit seeking the assistance of the public defender states that you have an income of $60,000 per year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't have any children or family members that you take care of?
No.
Okay. So
All grown.
you're gonna have to hire a lawyer to help you with this case, sir, okay? You don't qualify for the public defender. All right, so when you're released from jail, you'll need to contact some attorneys and see if they can help you, okay? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Preston.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 17 CF 6808. You failed to appear for a status hearing on April 6th of 2018. Ma'am, were you going to hire an attorney to help you, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
The public defender.
Okay. Okay. It looks like they were previously appointed on your case, ma'am. Let's check something. All right, thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Diopasad Ramdi Hall.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 7369. You were arrested for first-degree murder with a weapon. I do find probable cause for that offense. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask that the court continue to hold Mr. Ramdihal at no bond. The state would ask the court to find proof evident or presumption is great based on the arrest affidavit, which is a sworn document which has identifiable witnesses in it, and those witnesses do know Mr. Ramdihal, and those witnesses do provide facts that would lead to the conclusion that Mr. Ramdihal at that time would lead to the allegations that he committed the crime of stabbing his father.
Mr. Wayne?
Your Honor, at this time, we're going to defer to the court.
The state has met their burden to establish that there is proof evident presumption grade based upon the information that is contained within the probable cause arrest affidavit. At this time, bond will remain at none. I'm going to also order that he's not to possess any weapons or any firearms.
And Your Honor, may we have a no contact with witnesses?
Yes, I'll order that you're not to have any contact with Zanat Hack. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Carmelo Santiago.
Sir, you're here in case number 19 CF 7389. You were arrested for for retail theft greater than $300. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will be $1,000 and you're not to return to the Home Depot at 7022 West Colonial Drive. In case number 18 MM 8885, you failed to appear for arraignment on December 5th of 2018, and your bond in that matter is $2,000. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name, sir?
Chris Gunmaker?
Pardon me?
Chris Gunmaker?
Did you say Shoemaker?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an accent?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That just took me a minute. It's 19 CF 7114, sir. You are here pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for failing to report address change with the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Your bond at this time is $4,000, and you need to comply with any reporting requirements within 1 business day of your release, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The bond was $1,000, Your Honor.
4,000. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Kenneth Lee Davis Jr.
Mr. Davis, you're here in case number 19MO997. You're here for open container. I find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and the state is making that offer with the knowledge that he's out on release.
All right. Mr. Davis, did you want to accept the offer?
Yes.
Okay. Sign the plea form, please.
Public defender appointed, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Davis, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're gonna have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by May 23rd of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. 19 CF 5607. I'll take no action on that case at this time, sir. Okay, thank you. Is Miss Key not coming? She refused? Okay, all right, well, let's reset Miss Key. Good morning, sir, your name?
Ryan Mang.
Mr. Main, you are here in case number 19 MM4350. You were arrested for obstruction by false information, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting officer without violence. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Is there an offer for Mr. Mang?
Yes, Your Honor. It would be an adjudication of guilt, 30 days, 2 days credit time served. And it was paraphernalia. 2 days credit time served, Your Honor.
Oh, I see that. That's right. Okay, so Mr. Mang, you're not gonna wanna resolve your case today, given that you're on probation. And I'll say the bond on each count, 500 count 1, 100 count 2, 100 count 3. All right, thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Your name? Ma'am, what's your name?
Oh, Tanya Norberto.
Okay, Ms. Norberto. This is case number 19MM4344. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning and resisting officer without violence. I find probable cause Did you want to hire an attorney to help you, ma'am, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I'm not guilty, but I don't know how I got here this morning because I shouldn't have been arrested. I was in the ladies' room.
Ma'am, okay, you don't have to resolve your case today. I don't want you to talk about the facts of your case because everything is recorded and you haven't had an opportunity to speak with a lawyer and this could all be used
I haven't had
against
an
you later.
opportunity to make a phone call, so I need to find out.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, ma'am. Your bond on count 1 is $500. Your bond on count 2 will be $100, okay? Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Theodore Wallace.
Mr. Wallace, you're here in case number 19MM248. You were arrested for trespassing on school grounds. I do find probable cause. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Wallace?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 7 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the school in this matter, and no return to any Orange County public school property. Abide by all trespass warnings.
Mr. Wallace, do you want an attorney to help you with this case? Mr. Wallace, if you want to enter a plea to the court this morning, you can do that as well.
All right.
Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, sign the plea form, please. Mr. Wallace, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Sir, you can go back to the school at 100 Kennedy Boulevard. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I know that they check there a lot. So you can't go back to that school, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Jordan Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County for a violation of probation related to a burglary of a conveyance and grand theft. Your bond is $10,000. If you are unable to post that bond, sir, Seminole County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance. All right, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Good morning. Orlando Padilla.
Mr. Padilla, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County for violation of probation related to petty theft. This is a no bond warrant, sir. Seminole County will come pick you up and you will see a judge when you get there.
Seminole or
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Osceola. Thank
So
you.
no bond?
You don't have one. You'll see a judge in Osceola County when you get there, though.
He has a reporting requirement hold. Would you want that to be released so he can go over to Seminole? Seminole?
Yes. So he was arrested and brought here, and then they already came and got him on something else? Oh, okay. All right, so then.
He just has a reporting requirement hold, Your Honor.
So how do I just release the hold?
Yeah, you can release the hold, Your Honor.
Okay, then we'll release the hold so that he can go to Seminole County. What about Mr. Delk?
We're still working on it.
Okay, if not, we can see him this afternoon, I guess.
Yes.
Sir, good morning, your name?
Arthur Manning.
Mr. Manning, it looks like you're here for a determination of counsel hearing to have the Office of the Public Defender appointed. But based upon the affidavit that you completed, you don't qualify. It says you make $2,800 a month, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so is that after taxes or before?
Well, I get paid under the table. I make $150 a day. I work with a contractor, Don Owens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you only have one dependent?
Well, right now I'm on the edge of losing it.
How long have you been in the jail?
6 days. My bond was a little high. I think it was like 900. If I was able to get a reduction, I could
much was
get
your
out.
bond?
I think it was 9,900 or something like that. I
It's
talked with my boss and everything.
1,500
He
total.
couldn't. How much?
1,500, 1,500.
Oh. So what did that get me out?
Well, sir, I can't address your bond issue today.
Okay.
I don't know what the case number is actually. But there. So, Mr. Manning, you're gonna have to have your lawyer file a bond motion for you in the trial court.
Okay.
And you have that heard there.
Okay.
But based upon the fact that you haven't been able to work,
Yes.
and it doesn't look like you're able to afford your bond based on your testimony, I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Okay.
And they can file any appropriate motions.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir. Ms. Bush, just let me know whenever you're ready on the 33 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
And the state's ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Um, 19 CF 4279, Robert Lewis.
A notice of non-filing was filed on April 26.
On April 26th?
I'm sorry?
Did you say April, on April 26th?
April 26.
Okay, that will be granted. 19 CF 5642, Miles Pennant.
There was a notice of cancellation filed by defense counsel canceling this hearing, Your Honor.
Okay.
And that was filed yesterday.
Was it transferred to, oh wait, this isn't the right case. Then I'll take no action on the motion. Nineteen CF 5628 Danielle McMillan.
A request for administrative transfer from circuit court to county court, and a misdemeanor information clocked-in copy was provided to defense counsel this morning.
That will be denied. 19 CF 3590 Nathaniel Graham.
A notice of non-filing was filed.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 4234 Reuben Curtis.
A notice of non-filing on May 22nd.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 5446 Christopher Denson.
An information was filed on 5/23. Filing ID is 89993782.
That will be denied. 19 CF 5630 Sherelle Henry.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 5/22.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 4839 Joseph Scarvelli.
A notice of non-filing was filed on 5/22.
That'll be granted. In 19 CF 5616 Vasily Florianovich.
A notice of non-filing on 5/22.
That'll be granted.
Your Honor, Mr. Delicacy.
Oh, great, okay. Good morning, Mr. Delk.
Good morning.
This is case number 19CO594. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. There's probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Delk?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, and court costs.
Mr. Delk, did you want to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I just need you to sign the plea form, please.
Okay.
Your Honor, were we appointed? Was the public defenders appointed, Your Honor?
You were not.
Okay.
What about the case that he has the notice to appear on? Can we take care of that while he's here?
Your Honor, if I may have the case number.
It doesn't have that, but let me see.
I'll try and find it under
You
his
too, just one second. Well, Mr. Delk, the police report indicates that you have another soliciting without a permit case that's pending that you were given a notice to appear for. Would you want to try and take care of that case today if we're able to?
I didn't know about that, but yes, ma'am, if we
Okay.
could, yeah.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, as it is a county ordinance, there has to be a letter and certification from the engineers, and we file informations on these cases.
I thought we didn't need to have an information on an MO or a CO.
We actually do on the COs, and because we have to have that certification from the engineers.
Who's in, what, I don't understand engineer.
We actually file informations on the COs.
Yeah, well, but what is
Even
an,
though they're notice to appears,
okay,
we get a letter certifying from the engineers, the road engineers, and also from the county government that there is no permit and that this is an area that is designated for no solicitation without a permit.
sounds like that. Well, Mr. Delk, I'm gonna follow up on that, but I won't be able to resolve that other case for you today, but we can still take care of the case that you're here for this morning, okay?
Okay.
All right. Did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Okay, do you have
I
any
did.
questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say Saturday, I'm supposed to pick up a check
Okay.
that's very important to my getting off the street and getting I mean, I know this is unusual, but if I'm here 4 days, I'll miss getting that. And I have a P.O. box, and they only come on Saturday.
Okay.
That would make me have to go next Saturday, and it would mess up.
I understand.
I believe he would be released tomorrow, Your Honor.
Will he?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right,
Thank
Mr.
you
Dell.
so
No,
much.
no problem. Sir, do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I know that seems like odd math, but you will get out tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Okay?
Okay.
You'll have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by May 23rd of 2020.
Okay.
And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Okay.
All right? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anything else? No? Mr. Wynn?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
We'll be in recess then. Amy Carter, this is courtroom 1, session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Good afternoon, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Thank you.
Brian Wynn with the Office of Public Defender.
Thank you.
Travis Alston is mental health drug.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Alston for tomorrow. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Jonathan Paul Sherapata, ma'am.
Sir, this is 19 CF 7017. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree, pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found, sir. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. You're not to return to the Bolé Restaurant at 12711 Narcousie Road, and you're not to have any contact with any of the witnesses in this case. Thank
Your
you,
Honor,
sir.
is
Yeah.
it possible for him to get a printout of the warrant affidavit? I don't think he's been provided one. Or from,
Arlene, would you be able to print for him the affidavit for the warrant? Okay, we'll get him a copy, just 1 second.
okay. No.
Do you want to approach, or, thank you for Officer Haddock. All right, there you go, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Jeremiah Hutto.
Mr. Hutto, this is case number 19 CF 7395. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Your bond is $1,000, and you're not to return to the Circle K at 14490 West Colonial Drive. Mr. Wynn, I see that there's another affidavit here that's 19 CF 7416 with petty theft 2 priors, but there are no facts in the affidavit to establish that, it's almost just like the narrative of the arrest for the warrant.
And Your Honor, that is what, if I may have just 1 second to confirm, the arrest affidavit is just the arrest on the warrant, as best as I can tell.
Okay, so they just created a case number for that
Yes, Your Honor.
arrest?
That's what it appears to me, based on what's contained in the narrative. It refers to the warrant case number of 2019 CF 7395.
Right. Okay,
And-
so I'm just gonna ROR him on that case, and then the state attorney's office, I'm sure will take care of the procedural issue with regard to the actual case and case number.
And on the warrant, you're staying the bond at 1,000.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Hutto. You good, Mr. Hutto?
Ms. Carter,
Yes.
I don't understand the Circle K thing. Is there any way I can get RR'd on that?
Not today. You'll have to have your attorney file a motion for that, sir, okay?
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Starkey Jones.
Mr. Jones, this is 19 CF 7415. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause for the offense. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And your bond is $1,000, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
Jason Sinkfield.
Mr. Siegefeld, this is 18 CF 17435. You were arrested because you failed to appear for a status hearing on May 6th of 2019.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, I could talk, if no problem.
Oh, I don't want you to talk about the facts of your case in any way.
I'm gonna talk about my case.
Okay.
Okay, if you look in your documents, you can see I've been to court constantly. You can see I've been going to every court date. The last time I went to my court, they told me it was canceled. So if you look on clerk of court, it shows that it's canceled. That's why and then my next court date was on June 4th and June 17th. If you look in the system, it says June 4th and June 17th. I just went to court. And if you look in your documents, I've been going every single court date. Every single court date. So I don't know how I had a warrant on it. When I went there, they told me it was canceled. I got all my documents. That's how I found I got court on June 4th and June 17th. I got pre-trial June 4th, and I got trial June 17th. I went there. They gave me my documents. They told me that I don't have court. You know, when I looked at my documents, it said June. It didn't say nothing about no May. When I did go in May, they told me that was canceled. And then when I look on clerk of court too, it says canceled on there too. So I don't know where it went wrong, because on clerk of court it says that. When you look up my name.
Give me a minute to take a look at it, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Can you let them know?
Were you at court on April 30th?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I went to court. I was going to court the whole time. That's why I'm trying to figure out where did I go wrong at. Because when I went to court, they told me June 4th. It shows June 4th and it shows June 17th. That's my trial date. My May, they told me that they canceled that. It shows canceled. That's why I was trying to figure out when the police ran my name, I had a warrant. So I was trying to figure out why did I have that warrant when it shows on clerk of court, owner.com and everything else that it's canceled.
I see it. They continued it on the 30th. Mr. Single, that's not reflected in the court minutes on April 30th. So and I'm not saying that you're not being truthful, so please don't
okay.
take it that way. It's just that it's not in the court minutes, and
They don't show nothing about no
Judge
counsel.
Traver is who issued the capias. And so,
They don't show nothing about no counsel court date.
no, the minutes for, the 30th, April 30th says, it just says await the trial, the motion to grant, the motion for continuance is granted, you're to appear at all status hearings.
I went,
Yeah.
'cause I never missed no court date and.
Your
that-
Honor,
Yes.
our record is showing that there was a status hearing set for May 6th as well. I don't know if that's showing there or not.
And that looks like that's the date that he failed to appear for.
Right, that's what but I think the issue is that Mr. Sinkelfeld is saying that when he went on the 30th, it was canceled for the 6th. Mr. Sinkelfeld, you're gonna have to take that up with Judge Traver, because he's the one who issued the capias, and he's on that. I'm not legally allowed to change his capias. There may have been some sort of miscommunication, which I know that he'll hear and allow you to, address him with respect to that, but just contact your attorney right away and have them file a motion, and I know he'll get you in to see him quickly.
Do you know the next time I go to court?
It doesn't, it says off the docket, so when you failed to appear on the 6th, they took it off the docket.
I never-
So there must have been some sort of miscommunication, sir, so make sure that you get in there and explain that to him, okay?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Sure, I just said, you'll just have to present that to him. I don't see anything else with a new court date or anything like that, okay? All right, sir, thank you. Oh, sir, who represents you?
The thing is though, I never met my attorney yet. I never met who's defending me, nothing.
It looks like a Mark Consolo.
Mark Consolo is your lawyer.
Is that PD?
No,
Okay, so he's privately.
just a second, Mr. Sinkelfeld. Just give me a second.
Yes, ma'am.
You've never met him before?
No, ma'am. Because they kept on switching them up. Every time I
Okay.
went to court, they switched them
Sure.
up.
So. It is regional conflict? Okay. In order to withdraw Mark? So now who does he have? I can't, because if the PD, that's how he would have gotten this guy, is the PD would have said that they had a conflict. Motion to withdraw. So, Mr. Singleton, who was with you in court on the 30th?
I went, when I did go, nobody didn't, I sat down. They had me sit down just on the benches, and
Yeah.
they ran my name, and they spoke. But the thing is, though, I guess since it's with someone else, and I guess it's combining together,
Yeah.
they keep on moving PD's attorneys, they keep on moving them away from me.
Right.
So I don't know whose is who, because last time I went before April 30th, I had somebody else. Okay, I went again.
Right.
I found out I had somebody else.
But you went to court on the 30th. You
Yes.
didn't speak to any lawyer on the 30th?
I didn't speak to, the thing is though, I didn't speak to nobody. I sat in the benches, they called my name. When I tried to get up, somebody told me to sit down. And then from there, the judge knew I was there.
Yeah.
But somebody had spoke, but then again, it was like, we can appoint this, but it wasn't who y'all just said it was. Mark, whoever it is, it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Okay, let me just keep looking for a second. Because it's not fair for me to tell you to have your lawyer file a motion when you don't even know who that is. Order. Okay, so it is, Mark is the lawyer. That's the last person who, he entered a notice of appearance on your behalf on April 15th, so 15 days before your last court date.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give this to Mr. Stinkefeld. This is your attorney's name and his phone number.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name?
Melissa Vasquez.
Ms. Vasquez, you are here in case number 19 CF 7418. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree. I find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ma'am, you can't return to the Payless at 2764 East Colonial Drive. And your bond will be $500, ma'am.
500.
Thank you.
Your Honor, yes.
All right, this is also 19 CF 7417. It's for grand theft as well. From Bath and Body Works. Ma'am, you can't return to the Bath and Body Works. There is probable cause for grand theft, and I'll also set your bond in that case at $500.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. We'll talk to him tomorrow. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Brian Demetrius Lane.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, John Hood is behavior.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Hood. What about, Stewart, Mandel Stewart?
Mandel Stewart is in the hospital.
All right, we'll reset him as well. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Brian Demetrius Lane.
Mr. Lane, you are here in case number 19MM4353. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm gonna set your bond at $100 in that case, sir. You also have a on-view violation of probation out of Marion County. Based upon the facts in this case, sir, I do find probable cause for the violation of probation. Your bond on that will be set at none. And case number 19MM3817, I'm gonna revoke the bond in that case, and that will also be set at none. Thank you.
Ma'am, I would
Yes,
like to ask the state if I could settle this paraphernalia charge today and plea out to that to get this over with so I can get Marion County to come on pick me up. Because my other lawyer advised me that Marion County won't come pick me up until this case here is resolved. So I'd like to resolve this today if I can on this paraphernalia.
But you know that the Marion County case is the violation of.
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes,
So you
ma'am.
know you'll violate your probation?
Yes, ma'am, I have no problem with that, because if I let this case stay open, I'm gonna be sitting here 5 or 6 months fighting this case anyway, so I can have my violation completed by then. So I'd like to get this over with today if I can. But it's a misdemeanor paraphernalia, and I can get it over with today. Marion County has 5 business days to come pick.
I mean,
Yes, but they
Mr.
still will come pick me up, sir.
Mr. Lane,
I'm gonna be sitting in jail anyway, I'm saying, so I'd rather sit in Marion County jail and go ahead and get it over with.
so if he didn't have an Orange County hold, and even if he's no bound on the Marion County on VVOP, then they'll come get him? Okay, but for example, if the out on bond was not revoked and he was ROR'd on the paraphernalia, then Marion County will come pick him up? He won't be leaving on his own?
He does have a 5-day hold though for probation as well. I don't know when that might be clear.
Right, but
we
with the
have
on-view,
probation.
it's already gonna attach, right? So because there's a no bond on that, he has to go to Marion County. Okay, so that's what I'll do then. I'm not gonna take any action on 19MM3817, and I'm gonna ROR you on the paraphernalia charge. So they won't be resolved, so you will have those outstanding cases, but you can go to Marion County and take care of your VOP.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, sir.
So is my other bond revoked, or, okay, so thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
That's okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Brandon Wallace.
Mr. Wallace, this is 19 MM 4356. You were arrested for exposure of sexual organs, trespass in an occupied structure, refusal to leave, disorderly intoxication, and resisting officer without violence. Mr. Nguyen?
Yes, Your Honor. With regards to the trespass, occupied structure, refusal to leave, at the time of the incident, he was, at the time, he was leaving the area where he was asked to leave when the other alleged incidents occur. Based on the fact that he was leaving, you know, there was no refusal there. He was leaving the site. So we would ask that no probable cause be found on the trespass of an occupied structure, and he'd be ROR'd on that charge.
Ms. Bush?
Yes, Your Honor. There are multiple instances in the affidavit where he stumbled away, he stopped, he re-engaged employees in law enforcement, stumbled away, stopped, re-engaged, then exposed himself and told everyone present what they could do with his body part.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Nguyen, I do think that there is probable cause based upon the facts in the affidavit. So, and I do find probable cause for all 4 counts. And I'll appoint the public defender's office. Was there an offer for Mr. Wallace?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 7 days Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served, no return to the Knights Library on University Boulevard, and abide by all trespass warnings.
Mr. Wallace, do you want to accept the offer from the state?
I would like to ask is it possible to turn myself in after the weekend? My little sister's graduation is tomorrow. And I also have family in for my birthday this weekend. Is that a possibility to turn myself in on Monday just so I don't cause them any problems? Or would I have to do this 7 days as of today?
Well, how come he didn't qualify for PTR?
I think he was not interviewed, he was in safe book. It would have to be a bond, or we could see if
Mr.
it
Wallace,
would be
can you
possible.
post a bond?
I can.
You can?
I had my debit card on me, although the officers gave all my jewelry and my shoes and my wallet to my friends at the time.
Yeah.
I don't recall the situation at all. I have zero recollection of last night. I don't know why they wouldn't give me my money. So
So you can
I
call
do
your friends
have,
to try to bond you out.
I do have money and someone that's probably bonding me out right now, but I don't have it on me.
Yeah, I understand. But based on what you say in his criminal history, that wouldn't disqualify him, and then he just needs to.
He actually was interviewed, Your Honor. We
Oh.
weren't able to qualify him.
Why?
Unable to reach any contacts to verify any community ties, and I guess because of the charges and prior history.
Mr. Wallace, you live here in Orlando?
Yes,
Okay. How long have you lived here?
17 years.
Your Honor, is the court saying in the Orlando area because his address is listed in St. Cloud?
Well, yeah, I would consider that local.
That is also an old address that hasn't been updated in the system here. I do live in Belle Isle, Florida.
Okay. So if the defendant tells you that they live here, you have to have someone that confirms that for you? Is that how that works?
Yeah, we verify the community ties by either looking at his David or reaching out to family members, things like that.
So if they give you an address and then it doesn't match their David, then that is,
If we're not, we do a couple different ways to try to verify things, and if we're unable to, then yeah,
okay.
we wouldn't typically qualify.
Okay.
I can assure you of zero flight risk. I'm not going anywhere.
But I can have him, I could do like a alcohol and drug testing through PTR without him being on PTR, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Wells, I'm gonna release you ROR as to each count. However, I'm gonna order that you're not allowed to return to the university, the Knights Library. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal substances while you're out. And you are to, you're gonna be tested by the pretrial release program, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. And that's all? All right, we will be at recess.
You are here for an initial appearance after detention. The rules of criminal procedure require that you be brought before a judicial officer within 24 hours of your arrest. The purpose of the initial appearance is to have a judge list the charges against you, inform you of certain rights that you have, and to determine the conditions of your release. You should have already received a copy of these charges. The judge will review your paperwork to determine if there was probable cause to arrest you. If the judge finds probable cause, he or she will then determine if you qualify for bond and what the monetary and non-monetary conditions of your bond should be. If the judge does not have enough information to make a probable cause determination for your arrest, the state may be given additional time to amend the paperwork. You should also be aware of the following rights afforded to you by the Constitution. You are not required to say anything at this proceeding. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to communicate with counsel, family, or friends, and if necessary, you will be provided a reasonable means to do so. You have the right to counsel. If you have not already retained counsel and cannot afford counsel, the judge will appoint you a public defender. For the purposes of today's initial appearance proceedings, you may be able to briefly speak with a public defender regardless of whether the public defender is appointed for you. In order to have an attorney appointed by the court to represent you, you must be financially eligible, as determined by the court based on financial information you provide. Therefore, if you have not already done so, please complete, to the best of your knowledge, the financial affidavits provided by the correction officers. An application fee for the services of appointed counsel will be assessed. If you do not speak English or Spanish, please let a corrections officer know. When the judge is ready, she or he will begin calling your case by name. Please listen carefully for your name. When called, please approach the microphone as directed by the corrections officers. Thank you.
Usted se encuentra aquí para una audiencia o vista preliminaria, después de haber sido arrestado. Las leyes y estatutos criminales del estado de la Florida requieren que se celebre una vista preliminar ante un oficial judicial dentro de un plazo de 24 horas después de su arresto. El propósito de esta vista preliminar es para que el juez pronuncie los cargos contra usted, para que se les comunique a usted sus derechos procesales y para determinar las condiciones de su libertad o fianza. Ya usted debería haber recibido una copia de estas alegaciones o acusaciones por escrito. Ahora, el juez revisará la documentación en su caso para determinar si existe motivo fundado o causa probable para su arresto y detención. Si el juez determina que existe causa probable o motivo fundado, entonces decidirá si usted califica para que se le otorgue una fianza, tanto como cuáles serían las condiciones monetarias o no monetarias de dicha fianza. Si el juez no posee suficiente información para determinar si existe causa probable o motivo fundado para justificar el arresto, se le concederá a la Fiscalía tiempo adicional para modificar la documentación. También se les avisa que posee los siguientes derechos que se les otorgan por la Constitución. A usted no se le puede obligar a decir nada durante esta vista. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá ser utilizada en su contra como evidencia. Usted tiene el derecho de comunicarse con un abogado, pariente o amigo, y si es necesario, que se les proporcione los medios razonables y disponibles para hacerlo. Usted tiene el derecho a un abogado. Si todavía no ha encontrado o contratado un abogado y no tiene los recursos para hacerlos, entonces el juez le nombrará un defensor público. Para el propósito de la audiencia preliminaria de hoy, se le permitirá hablar brevemente con un abogado de la Oficina del Defensor Público, aun cuando no se le haya nombrado para representarle en todo el caso. Para poder recibir la designación de un abogado, primero debe calificar económicamente según lo determine el juez. Esto será basado en la información financiera que usted proporcione aquí. Por lo tanto, si no lo ha hecho todavía, de la mejor manera posible, por favor, llene el formulario de insolvencia económica que se le ha proporcionado por el oficial de correcciones. Se le impondrá un recargo o costo por los servicios del defensor público. Si usted no habla inglés, por favor, hágale saber al oficial de correcciones. Cuando esté listo, el juez comenzará el proceso llamando a cada una persona y caso por su nombre. Por favor, esté pendiente para pasar adelante cuando escuche su nombre y cuando escuche su nombre, haga el favor de acercarse al micrófono, tal como le indique el oficial de correcciones. Muchas gracias por su atención.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, I'm Judge Gabrielle Sanders. I'm going to be handling initial appearances today. My job is going to be looking at the affidavit that's been given to me, and I'm going to determine if there's probable cause or not. I will also determine bond. If I set a bond or I set no bond, and if you have an attorney, that attorney can take up the bond that I've issued with the judge that's actually assigned on that case. Today is not the day for you to tell me about your case. It is not the day to challenge the affidavit or the bond. If you hear that I say no contact with your co-defendants or witnesses or victims, that is exactly what I mean. No direct or indirect or third-party contact. No emails, texting, direct messages on Instagram or anything like that. If you do make contact, that will be a violation of my court order, and you'll be coming back in front of me. And we certainly don't want that. Before we begin, if I can have the representative from the Public Defender's Office, please state your name.
Janine Marie Yancey, Assistant Public Defender.
All right, state.
Brooklyn Rapchick for the state. Crystal Allen for the state.
PTR.
Officer Pat Hill on behalf of PTR.
I'm Mr. Mayor, certified federal interpreter already sworn.
All right, thank you. And can we please have Edward Gonzalez?
Edward González, pasa al frente.
Public Defender approved.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes, señor González. Good afternoon.
I've reviewed the affidavit for battery domestic violence.
He revisado la declaración jurada de agresión en violencia doméstica.
I do find probable cause for your arrest.
He encontrado causa probable para su arresto.
Your bond will be set at $500.
La fianza va a ser $500.
This is going to be with PTR.
Con condiciones de libertad anterior a juicio.
The conditions of your release would be not to have any contact with Magdalia Sierra Rivera.
Las condiciones de su libertad van a ser que no puede tener ninguna clase de contacto con Magdalia Sierra Rivera.
You're not to return to 1406 Amberwood Boulevard.
No puede regresar al 1406 de Amberwood Boulevard.
If you have any personal property there, I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement.
Si usted tiene alguna propiedad personal allí, le voy a permitir que regrese una sola ocasión acompañado por la policía.
You are also not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Y no puede poseer ninguna arma de fuego ni otra arma peligrosa.
Any other conditions, PTR?
No, Your Honor.
Right, state.
No hay ninguna condición de libertad anterior a juicio.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Y nada de parte de la fiscalía, así que eso es todo. Muchas gracias.
Your Honor, do we have the next court date? Next court date's May 30th. They're still in jail June 24th, 8:30, courtroom 5B if out.
La próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 30 de mayo si todavía está en la cárcel o el 24 de junio a las 8:30 de la mañana en la sala 5B si ya salió.
Thank you.
Eso es todo, gracias.
Ramon Melendez.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Melendez, I've reviewed the arrest affidavit in regards to fleeing and attempting to elude with lights and sirens activated.
Le he revisado entonces la declaración de la policía en cuanto a intento de fuga con un vehículo de la policía que tenía encendido sus luces y su sirena.
I do find probable cause for the arrest.
He encontrado causa probable para el arresto.
Your bond's going to be set at $1,000.
La fianza va a ser $1,000.
Any condition, state or PTR.
Le pregunto al Estado o a Fiscalía si tienen alguna condición.
Nothing from your honor.
No, Your Honor.
Nada de la Fiscalía ni de la Oficina de Antelación a Juicio.
Next court date's on demand.
La próxima fecha en el tribunal va a ser cuando se solicite. Eso es todo.
Thank you.
Raymond Novoa Allende.
Ramón Novoa Allende, pasa al frente.
Public defender approved.
Mr. Allende, I'm looking at an affidavit for a violation of probation.
Estoy viendo aquí una declaración jurada que lo acusa de violación de probatoria.
This is in case number 2018 CF 448.
Es en el caso 18 CF 448.
Your bond is set at $0.
La fianza es 0, no hay fianza.
Thank you.
Gracias, eso es todo.
Next court date's May 29th, 8:45, courtroom 5A.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 29 de mayo a las 8:45 en la sala 5A.
Omar Rivera Marcano.
Defender approved.
Omar Rivera Marcano.
Sir, I have reviewed the affidavit in case number 2019 MM 1939.
He revisado la declaración jurada del caso 19 MM 1939.
It's in regards to a violation of pretrial release.
Es por violación de las condiciones de libertad anterior a juicio.
I have reviewed the affidavit.
Y he revisado la declaración jurada.
I do find probable cause.
He encontrado causa probable.
Your bond is going to be set at $5,000.
La fianza va a ser $5,000.
I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim, which is Lourdes Padilla,
Voy a ordenar que no puede tener contacto alguno con la víctima, que es Lourdes Padilla,
as well as the children in this particular case.
así como los menores que hay en este caso en particular.
You're not to return to the residence,
No puedes regresar a la residencia,
which is 924 Determination Way.
que es el 924 de Determination Way.
You're not to have any firearms or weapons.
No puede tener ni armas de fuego ni ninguna otra arma peligrosa.
You were out on bond on 2019 CF 1282.
Usted está bajo fianza en el 19 CF 1282.
Because of this new offense, I'm going to revoke your bond. Your bond's going to be set at $0.
Pero debido a este nuevo delito, la fianza va a ser revocada, o sea que la fianza va a ser 0.
Thank you.
Gracias, eso es todo.
Next court date's May 30th, if still in jail, July 1st, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 30 de mayo si todavía estás en la cárcel o el día 1 de julio a las 8:15 de la mañana en la sala 4A si saliste bajo fianza.
Melvin Scott.
Can we verify if there's anybody else who needs an interpreter?
Absolutely.
¿Hay alguien más que va a necesitar los servicios de intérprete? Por favor, levante la mano.
Per my notes, I have 2 more.
You have 2 more? All right.
Scott, you need
Mr. Scott, have a seat for me. We'll get back to you. All right. Who's your 2?
Virela Colón. ¿Qué más necesita el intérprete? Y Coto. ¿Cómo que se llama? Ven. Your Honor, this is Francis Varela Colón.
Okay. Ms. Varela Colon, I have an affidavit for a failure to appear on written promise.
Tengo aquí una declaración jurada por no haber comparecido al tribunal luego de haber prometido por escrito.
This is in regards to 2018 CT 1638.
Eso es en el caso 18CT1638.
Your bond is already set at $2,000.
Ya la fianza se puso en $2,000.
Next court dates, May 30th if still in jail, July 1st, 8:15, courtroom 4A if out.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 30 de mayo si todavía estás en la cárcel o el 1 de julio a las 8:15 de la mañana en la sala 4A si saliste bajo fianza.
Public defender was approved.
Y se aprobó el defensor público.
Who's your next one? I know you said you had two.
Last name Cotto, Your Honor.
Koto. All right. Danny?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Danny Koto.
Public defender approved.
Sir, I also have an affidavit in regards to 2019 CF 1254.
Tengo aquí una declaración jurada referente al caso 19CF 1254.
This is a failure to appear on a written promise.
Eso es por no haber comparecido al tribunal después de una promesa por escrito.
Your bond is set at $4,999.
La fianza son $4,999.
Next court dates, May 29th, 8:15, courtroom 5F.
Tu próxima cita en el tribunal va a ser el 29 de mayo a las 8:15 de la mañana en la sala 5F.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Is that all?
¿Alguien más necesita servicio de intérprete? Levanten la mano.
¿Alguien más? That appears to be it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Mr. Scott?
Said he's hiring a private attorney.
Mr. Scott, are you going to be hiring your own attorney? All right. I have two cases in front of me. Your first case is 2019 MM1940. It is a violation of PTR, domestic violence. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Ms. Allen, are you here on this case?
I am, Your Honor. I was going to be asking that the court revoke the defendant's bond on his other pending case.
On the CF case?
Yes, Your Honor. In 2018, CF 1556, based on the contact that's alleged in his new offense, it is the same victim that is the listed victim in that case.
All right. Can I have that case
2018 CF 1556.
Okay, thank
There's
you.
also currently a failure to appear in that case from October 23rd of 2018. The defendant failed to appear at his pretrial conference.
Okay. All right. So in regards to 2019 MM1940, I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000. Condition of that bond will be no contact with the listed victim, Denise Stanzile, if I'm saying that correctly. No weapons, no firearms. In regards to 2019 CF 1839, there's 4 separate offenses. The first one is the possession or the sale and delivery of cocaine. I do find probable cause for that count. Your bond is set at $7,500. Second count is possession of a weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bond is set at $4,000. Third count is possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $500. Fourth count is resisting an arrest without violence. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $500. In regards to 2018 CF 1556, your bond is revoked, and it's going to be set at $0.
Your Honor, is that the drug trafficking case?
There's multiple. If I can, Your Honor, I can clarify the charges on that case. Yeah, there is a drug trafficking charge on that case.
Mhm.
There's a kidnapping, human trafficking charge on that case, as well as multiple possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of firearm by a convicted felon.
And was he given PTR in that case? Because he is currently in custody on a PTR revocation
on a
case,
It's
and then he
probably on
failed
the
to
same case.
appear.
It's probably on the
So
same
he's already in custody on a zero bond on that.
I still showed the habeas outstanding. If pretrial release has more updated information, then yes. I'm looking in benchmark right now. It does appear that he was ordered pretrial release on this case originally in May of 2018.
Yeah, when they arrested him on this, there had already been a PTR revocation signed, and then he failed to appear. So he is in custody on a zero bond on that case.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No action, Judge.
Yeah, no action. Anything else, Ms. Allen? I have 2 other cases before
Okay.
the court.
All right.
Is that ALLEN?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Judge, on the first one, the domestic was that with PTR, just condition of no return and, I mean, no contact and.
Just no contact.
Okay.
Session,
Okay.
there was a zero bond on the,
Okay, okay.
Lionel LeBron Cabrera. Good afternoon, sir. You have a out-of-county warrant from Duval County, case number 2018 CF 4763. Your bond is currently set at 0. All right, thank you. Dustin Boggs.
Public defender approved.
I'm looking at a failure to appear on written promise on case number 2018 CF 3220. The previous judge in that case, it's set at, your bond is currently set at 0.
Judge, on that one, it looked like they issued the warrant on 4 counts, but count 2 and 3 was already no pros.
For this particular case?
When they issued the warrant on this.
Hold on for 1 second. I want to make sure we have everything correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But it's just 2 counts for delivery of meth. Okay, well, there's 2 counts of delivery of methamphetamine. I'm sorry, 1 count of delivery of methamphetamine and possession of methamphetamine. And those are what the previous court said that you failed to appear. And those bonds are going to be set at 0, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, is it Aurelius Crostosmo?
Public defender approved.
All right, I have an arrest warrant in front of me for 3 counts: armed robbery with a firearm, count 2 aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and count 3 grand theft. It appears that a probable cause has already been found on these offenses. PTR, do you have any information in criminal history on this defendant?
She has 2, she had a burglary, but she was convicted of and sentenced to 1 year in probation in 2016. And then she failed to appear in July of 2016 on the same case.
Okay. As to the armed robbery with a firearm, your bond is going to be set at $15,000. As to count 2, your bond is going to be set at $3,500. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $500. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, which is Dexter Burnett. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendants. Count 3 is going to be bonds with PTR.
Your Honor, because count 1 does not qualify, we're not able to supervise on any of the charges.
On any of the counts?
Yes.
All right. All right, so no PTR, but my conditions still stand. All right, thank you.
Next court date's on demand.
Dana Finnegan.
Public defender approved.
All right, I'm looking at an arrest warrant where probable cause has already been found in case number 2019 CF 1673. It's for count 1, which is a scheme to defraud. The bond on that count is $2,500. Your second count is the grand theft for over $300. And that bond is going to be set at $150.
Your Honor, would you consider PTR with drug conditions on this case?
I will.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sir, we'll talk in a minute.
It's bonds with PTR. It's no drugs or alcohol.
And random UAs, please.
Random URAs.
Next court date's on demand.
Kimberly Jackson.
Public defender approved.
Ms. Jackson, you have a failure to appear in case number 2013 MM560. The bond in that case is currently set at 0 at this time.
Your Honor, is there any way that the court would consider granting Ms. Jackson bond? Her son's high school graduation is tomorrow. To my understanding, this is her only failure to appear.
State? This is a violation of probation. And she failed to appear for the VOP hearing, so I'm going to go ahead and decline that at that time.
Next court date's June 6, 1:30, courtroom 4E.
Yunel Edward Ortiz.
Said he's hired a private attorney.
Mr. Ortiz, what are you going to do about an attorney? And your bond is currently set at 0 at this time, okay? All right, thank you.
Next court date's June 11th, 8:45, courtroom 4F.
Joshua Phelps.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Phelps. I'm also looking at an arrest warrant, case number 2019 MM1906, in regards to a battery. And PTR, do you have any current history?
Yes, in 2012, he had a trespass. October 2018, battery, kidnap, false imprisonment, burglary with assault, all which were dropped. Unknown if it's the same victim.
Okay. All right, I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's going to be set at $1,000. It's going to be with PTR. You're not to have any contact with Alexi Marie Hernandez. You're not to return to her place of employment, which is the McDonald's located at 3845 Pleasant Hill Road. When I say no contact, Mr. Phelps, I mean no contact. No direct, indirect, or third party. Do not go to her home. Do not go to her work. Do you understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant's sister would also be asking for no weapons or firearms.
All right, no weapons, no firearms. Anything else?
Did Madam Clerk say that PD was approved?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next court date's May 30th, if still in jail, June 21st, 8:15, courtroom 4E is out.
Anthony Pratt.
Public defender approved.
Something in there.
Is. All right, Mr. Pratt. I reviewed the arrest warrant for count 1, armed robbery with a firearm, count 2, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and count 3, grand theft. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. PTR, do you have any history?
Yes, Your Honor. He has multiple priors, including juvenile, 2012 robbery with a firearm as a juvenile. He had, as an adult, 2012 robbery with a firearm wearing a mask, ag assault with the weapon with the mask, possession of a firearm, 2013, BOP on the robbery with the mask, and he was sentenced to DOC on that, and then followed by some drug charges.
In regards to DOC, do we know when he was released?
January 2018.
All right. As stated, I find probable cause for all three counts. Your bond as to count 1 would be $20,000. As to count 2, your bond is $3,500. As to count 3, your bond is $500. No contact with listed victims and no contact with your co-defendants. All right, thank you.
Next court dates on demand.
Maurice Avery.
Public defender approved.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, may we revisit Mr. Pratt's? Mr. Pratt's is financially unable to cover a $20,000 bond. Would the court entertain maybe
You can
10%?
file a motion to reduce bond with the judge that is assigned to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Avery? Good afternoon. I did review the arrest affidavit for counts 1, battery domestic, and count 2, resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest for both counts. In PTR, you're unable to contact the victim.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. And, any prior DV history?
Not in the state of Florida, but in New Jersey, a 2013 battery domestic, which was a conviction, followed by 2 other battery domestics, one in 2014 and one in 2015, both dismissed, unknown if it was the same victim.
All right. Your bond is to count 1, which is a battery domestic violence, will be set at $1,000. In regards to resisting arrest without violence, your bond is set at $500. This is going to be with PTR. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, which is Serena Soto. You're not to respond to the Embassy Suites located at 4955 Kings Heath Road. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Any additional conditions, state or PTR.
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, may I be heard on probable cause as to the resisting without violence? Per the police report that we have, the only thing that states about resisting is while switching handcuffs to the front of Maurice, Maurice began to resist. Osceola Fire Rescue medically cleared. There's no factual basis as to what his resisting was or what the commands that he resisted were. And so, Your Honor, I would argue that there is no probable cause as to the resisting.
Your Honor, the city would ask for 24 hours to receive more information from law enforcement officers.
All right, well, come on back for count 2 then. I'll give you 24 hours.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Alexander Bentoncourt. Here. Okay, so you're here for this.
Yes,
That's
and
one
one
more. All right.
City time.
Yes. Yes, Crystal Allen for the state on this case, Judge.
Crystal with a C or Crystal with a K?
C-R-Y-S-T-A-L.
1 second, I'm sorry. I was just handed a motion for pretrial detention.
And for the record, Judge, I've emailed it to the public defender's office. I understand they don't have access to the internet there, but their supervisor has forwarded it to them for review.
All right. Have you had an opportunity to review the pretrial detention motion?
No, Your Honor. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
All right. So, this,
I'm
sorry?
Sadie Turner.
You're hiring your own attorney, sir?
I believe so. I haven't been able to get on the phone, so I don't know what's going on there.
All right. Who's this in front of?
Judge Tynan.
Judge Tynan.
All right. Because a pretrial detention motion has been filed, I'm not going to take any action today. I'm actually going to set the pretrial detention motion for a hearing in front of Judge Tynan, which is the judge is currently assigned to. So there's going to be no bonds until the pretrial detention motion is ruled on all counts. I believe he has 2 cases. All right, it's going to be for all. So, Mr. Betancourt, make sure you contact your attorney and inform them that there's a pretrial detention motion filed on your cases. All right? Okay, thank you.
Next court date's on demand.
James Isaac.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Isaac, you're arrested for petty theft in case number 2019 MM1936. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond is going to be set at $500. I do not want you to return to the Walmart, which is located at 2855 North Old Lake Wilson Road. Do you understand? All
Your
right,
Honor,
thank you. Yes, ma'am.
This, to my understanding and from what Mr. Isaac is telling me, Mr. Isaac is still in high school. This is his first offense, and we would ask that the court consider direct PTR in this case. This is a nonviolent offense with 0 priors.
PTR?
He does have 1 prior in 2010, but it was not a conviction.
What was it? What kind of case was it?
It was a grand theft.
A grand theft?
Mhm.
All right.
Out of Polk County.
All right. My bond's going to remain at $500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next court date's May 30th, if still in jail, June 21st, 8:15, courtroom 4E if out.
Dalmer Marrero.
Public defender approved.
Right. I have an arrest affidavit for 2019 MM1937. It's in regards to resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for that arrest. Your bond is currently set at $500. And PTR, was he out on bond on 2018 CF 1790?
No, Your Honor, he's actually on felony probation in that case. It is an Orlando case, and the charge is possession of controlled substance.
So no VOP has been filed as of yet, but you say he's currently on probation?
Yes.
All right, I find an on-view violation. I'm going to revoke your bond on that case.
Bond set at 0.
Bond is set at 0.
Requesting no contact with Michael Miragalia.
Okay.
We'll talk in a second.
Johnny Medina?
Your Honor, quick question. Was the PD approved on this case?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. All right, Mr. Johnny Medina.
And, Your
Sal,
Honor,
you're
we
also,
would- I'm sorry.
you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, no problem.
The state has filed a motion for pretrial detention in this case. I have forwarded it, I provided a copy of it to the clerk.
Oh, sorry,
and
thought
I
it was
forwarded
another.
it to the Office of the Public Defender.
And this is another that I have not seen, Your Honor.
It's currently set in front of Judge Morgan in Division 101.
All right. So same thing here. He has a public defender assigned to him.
Yes,
All
too.
right. So this is going to, your bonds can remain at 0 until the pretrial detention motion is ruled upon. And that case is set in front of Judge Morgan. Okay?
And the court is going to take no action as to bond until that's heard, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll have a seat and talk to you in a second.
For this one? Oh, yeah, I did see that, yeah, for the tampering count too.
Your Honor, would you consider no contact? Even though he's in custody?
Fine, there's no,
Phone
yeah.
calls?
Yeah, no contact, absolutely. Thank you.
And that's on Mr. Medina, correct?
Yes, that is, yeah, no contact with the listed victim. Nadarius Oliver. Brevard County.
Public defender approved.
Oliver?
I'm looking at a battery arrest. This is in regards to 2019 MM 1938. And we do have someone present in here. Ma'am, what is your name?
Andrea Echevarria.
All right, you're the listed victim in this case? Yes. All right. I do find probable cause for your arrest. And prior to setting any type of bond amount, I want to hear from Ms. Echevarria. How do you feel about having contact with this defendant?
I don't want to have contact with him.
You do not want to have contact?
No.
All right. PTR, any history?
Yes, Your Honor. 2017, altered bank bills and cash deposit fraud. Also in 2017, uttering forged out of Brevard and a VOP. He is currently on felony probation out of Brevard County. And I understand that's not in your jurisdiction. That was for information purposes only.
Okay.
And they have been contacted.
Okay, thank you. All right, your bond is going to be set at $500. Mr. Oliver, you're not to have any contact with Ms. Echevarria. Do you know what I mean by no contact? Yes, ma'am. All right, so do not call, do not text, do not send her anything via Instagram, Snapchat, none of social media. Don't contact your cousins, your mom, or anyone to contact her. Do you understand me?
Does this go as far as my daughter as well? Because my daughter was present during the incident, and I don't want him to have contact with her until all this is situated.
All right, no contact with your daughter. Anything else?
Oh, that's all. Thank you.
All right.
Can we place the daughter's name?
Serenity Echevarria.
Thank you.
And would you like PTR supervision?
Yes, please. And no return to 4648 South Orange Blossom Trail, Lot B9. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. All right, thank you.
Next court date's May 30th. If still in jail, June 21st, 8:15, courtroom 4E if out.
Andrew Rodriguez.
Public defender approved.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, I've reviewed the arrest affidavit for 3 separate offenses. Possession of controlled substance without a prescription, and that is in regards to the methamphetamine. I do find probable cause for that count. Your bond is set at $2,500. As to count 2, possession of controlled substance without prescription, which is the synthetic cannabis. I do find probable cause for that count. Your bond is set at $2,500. As to count 3, which is the possession of drug paraphernalia, I find probable cause for that offense. Your bond is set at $500. And PTR, can he be supervised with PTR with RUAs?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add those bond amounts with PTR and RUAs. All right, thank you.
Next court date's on demand.
You needed to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I missed the conditions. Was that with PTR with drug conditions?
Exactly, random urinalysis.
And Your Honor, Mr. Rodriguez is unfortunately unable to afford a $5,500 bond. Would the court entertain a lower bond?
You all can file a motion to reduce bond in front of, do we know who this?
No. We'll talk about it in a second. We'll talk
Judge Morgan.
Okay, set in front of Judge Morgan, so you all can file a motion to reduce.
And the PD was appointed on this case, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Did I miss anyone else? I see no hands. All right, thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.